For over 45 years, Daryl Westmoreland has had a backstage pass, front row seats to every great rock show in Seattle, up close and personal access to rock royalty since the 1970s. We're talking Aerosmith, Van Halen, Tom Petty, Ozzy, David Bowie, up to Destiny's Child, no doubt. I mean, he has seen it all. And in the first of his new series of 4 books called Snap, Click, Flash, Daryl giving us a first-hand account of Seattle rock history, and I'm fascinated by this stuff. So, Daryl, I appreciate your work as well.
Thank
it's
you.
great to have you here this morning. So, what's it like? I'm going to geek out a little bit. What's it like backstage at a rock show, and what's it like trying to get artists, capture that moment?
Well, backstage, it's hectic. There's no doubt about that. Everybody's running around. You got record reps. You've got radio personalities. So my job basically was to get them together and shoot the meet and greet shots.
Right.
And then after that, whatever else they have me do, go out, shoot the show. They always allow a certain amount of songs that you can shoot. So,
was there a band or an artist that intimidated you, like you felt like you did not belong in the space or something?
Well, Kiss. And
yeah,
this was in the early mid-'80s before they were seen without their makeup. So
right.
All 4 of them come walking in. I'm back at the Coliseum. I'm standing there. I have a couple cameras, and I'm just nonchalantly just hanging. And they both all 4 of them come walking in. And, of course, they're bigger than real because they have platform shoes. They're all in trench coats. Right. Gene Simmons looks at me, and he saw the cameras, and he just pointed his finger at me and shook his head, and it was just like, okay.
Yeah. How about on the other end of it? Was there an artist that you were surprised how cool they were or accommodating?
There have been a lot, but probably like Tom Petty, for instance. He was most genuine. But then that was in the late 70s, 78, when I was working with him in the beginning and worked with him multiple times.
So you had kind of a unique perspective on the emergence of the Seattle rock scene and the rise of grunge, talking about Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Nirvana, many bands rising to fame. What was that like? And did you realize at the time that it was going to change music the way that it has? Well,
around 89. Around 89, there were all these record reps running around Seattle looking for this sound. And that's all I knew. They were looking for a sound. And at that point, shortly after, there was Alice in Chains was the first of the 4. And then, and that was in mid-90. And then by, mid-91, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam,
sure.
Alice in Chains, and Nirvana.
Yeah, and the part of the Seattle rock scene that may be easy to overlook for some folks is it's a scene that has seen a lot of tragedy. Kurt Cobain and Chris Cornell and Lane Staley, all of these folks taken from us far too soon. There's also a great love that binds the artists here. There's a great collaborative spirit among the artists here. And I think that's kind of unique for a rock scene, don't you?
Yeah. With that scene of I guess I call it the grunge scene, or that movement, like any other groups that I'd worked with, that seemed to be the most depressed kind of grouping because of their attitude and their drug use. I mean, it is what it is, and with that, it played itself out, and that's
right.
I mean, I worked with so many other artists in the past, multiple decades in the past, where the record company brings the artists on, develops them, and for longevity. But when the grunge scene came, like I said, it was a sound that they were looking for, and they found it. But there was a lot of tragedy, like you were saying.
Yeah, it certainly was. Daryl Westmoreland, thank you so much. The first of these 4 books is called Snap, Click, Flash. On sale right now. And by the way, Daryl having a book signing on Thursday the 25th at Brooke Westland Studio in Seattle. And it's definitely worth looking at if you're a fan of rock and roll.